Hello, viewers of the spell. Today we're going to be doing part 7 of What If Asta was in Fairy Tail. Hope you enjoy this video, and hopefully other What Ifs will be coming to the channel soon, and hopefully they won't go like my last attempt to create another What If. Yeah, I'll probably try to revive that one in the future, but unfortunately it didn't have enough views for me to warrant trying to turn it into a series. But hey, I thought it was a fun concept, and I will probably revive it in the future. Let's go on to the what if. Natsu, Lucy, Gray, Asta, and Happy were rushing out of the old temple. They had discovered Deliora's frozen body, and were determined to stop these cultists from reviving him. It didn't take them long to discover the camp where the cultists were hiding, the complete other side of the island than the village. And when they discovered it, Asa said, "Alright, let's come up with a plan. Gray, I want you to lay down cover fire. Lucy, I want you to come in your spirits." And Natsu, as he realized Natsu and Gray were both gone, as he heard an explosion. As Natsu was yelling, as Natsu ran down there, obliterating them, and said, "Time to stop you guys from summoning that demon." As Gray just yelled, "I won't let you unseal Delior and let Master Ur's sacrifice be in vain!" As ice and fire ripped through the fairly unprepared cultists. Asta, Happy, and Lucy just looked at him and said, "Should we get involved?" As Asta just said, "Yeah," as he summoned his sword and jumped in the fray as well. As then Lucy summoned Taurus, as he also began obliterating the cultists. But they didn't, as cultists were being punched and blasted back. They were surprised when Taurus just got frozen. "So, I'm guessing you're the Cold Emperor?" Gray said, as a man in armor stepped forward, surrounded by the dog-faced man and a rather short man with large eyebrows, and a woman with red hair. As the Cold Emperor said, "Gray, I was not expecting to see you." As Gray stopped and said, "Wait, it can't be you, could it?" As the Cold Emperor took off his face to reveal Leon, or Leon. That's... Correct me in the comments, I'm just kind of gonna go with that pronunciation for now. As Gray then got immediately angry. "You would try to revive Deliora?" As the Cold Emperor just coldly responded, "Yes. After all, you stole my chance to suppress Ur. But I can still surpass her by slaying Deliora." As Gray just looked at him and said, "Are you insane?" Even if that was true, would risking the lives of everyone on the continent be worth it? As Leon, being very stubborn, would just say, "I will simply slay it. It will not risk the continent." As Gray got angry, Natsu just said, "Heh, lot of talk. See if I could fight," as he got frozen in a circular ball of ice. As Natsu immediately started yelling that said, "Cheap move! Get me out of here!" As Leon just said, "Take care of them." As his lackeys, which I cannot remember the name of, jump into the fray. As the dog-faced man jumped at Happy, the red-haired girl began fighting Lucy, and the man with the eyebrows started fighting Asta. We shall start off with Asta's fight. Looked at his opponent and said, well, this will be interesting." As the opponent created a weird sphere and threw it at Asta. He jumped back, barely dodging the blow, as he brought up his sword and sliced through it. As he just said, what the... As he cut through it, realizing a weird static. So, what's your technique? As the man with the eyebrows, being fairly cocky, would explain it. I create a magical field. It can snuff out magic. As Asta just grinned. In that case, you're gonna hate me. My sword can cut through it. Not dispel it, but cut through magical energy. And spells. Really, our techniques have the same basic concept of anti-magic. But I have to admit, mine probably beats out yours. As the man grinned as he shot more orbs at him. Asta would quickly just start taking him out as soon as they got in range. He even used the flat of his blade and sent one right back at him. He created another one of his fields in front of him and stopped it, as a look of concern got on his face. Asta then jumped forward, bringing his sword up to strike. The man brought up a shield and, out of reflex, and Asta cut through it, hitting the ground in front of the man. The man then tried trapping Natsu in a field. A field enclosed Asta. He yelled for a second before he swung his sword, cutting through it, resulting in its being dispelled. Asta, panting heavily, said, "Have to admit, that really hurt." The man in the eyebrows would just look at him and say, "Huh, what kind of person are you? That should have killed most people." Asta would just grin and say, "Turns out I don't have any magic energy. Therefore, your attack wasn't able to turn my own magic energy against me." As he summoned his second, smaller sword. As he just said, "So, let's go." As he threw his sword, the man jumped back, pulling up a field, but it did no good. The sword passed right through it. He jumped off to the side. As he looked back, he noticed Asta was gone. As he turned around, as all he saw was a black blade slam into him, the dull edge of the sword colliding with his ribs, cracking several, as he went flying into the trees. As Asta just said, panting, "Who should I help?" As going back a few seconds, Lucy and her opponent's fight would go about the same as canon. The only difference is it happening in the daytime. As Happy's fight this time around was, Happy just trying to avoid him, with him just saying, "Someone help!" as Gray and Leon stared off. Gray, angry, quickly threw together an attack launching at Leon. Leon would simply create an ice tiger and swat away his attack. This fight would go similar to in canon, with Gray attacking and Leon reacting, remarking about how he still used two hands to cast magic, as Leon created a tiger and gorilla, ordering him to attack. Gray dodged the tiger and got slammed by the gorilla, as Natsu was in an orb of ice. As a man in a mask and a fur jacket would come out of the trees, just saying, wasn't expecting this kind of interference." As Gray got hit again, barely standing, the gorilla began bringing out his hand as Asta jumped in, slicing it off. Leon looked shocked that his gorilla had gotten its arm cut off in one slice. "But no matter, I'll just create another one." As Asta then cut the ice holding Natsu, but just managed to crack it enough. As it cracked, it broke apart. As Natsu said something, "I'm free!" as the tiger jumped on him, as he quickly punched it back. Leon smirking, saying, "Ice makes swallows," as swallows started flying towards him. Natsu broke a few before one cut his knee, realizing that his ice magic could move, and more specifically for him, these swallows can change direction in midair. As he quickly told Natsu, we need to fall back." As Natsu just said, "I was having fun," as the gorilla with one arm nearly smashed him. "But I see what you mean." As he unleashed a massive fire dragon roar, as Leon was forced to create a shield while everyone else got back. Asta grabbed Gray as Asta told Happy, "Go find Lucy. We'll regroup at the village." As Happy just said, "Aye, sir," as he flew off. The team would wind up making it back to the village. And this was longer than I thought. So, yeah. I'm just going to cut it off here. The next part should definitely conclude this arc. This has been a lot longer than I thought to complete an arc in Fairytail, but then again, these can be a little bit longer. Man, if I ever make it to the Grand Magic Games in this series, it is going to be crazy. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell notification, and leave a comment. It only takes a few minutes, and interaction does help the channel. Don't forget to check out the Anime What If subreddit, linked in the description. And this will be the Spell Re, signing off.